Hi, this is Jill Varvel with Dixiecast. I'm at Crystal Bridges Park today, and I'm going to take a tour of some of the trails. And just why don't you take a walk with me so you can see what it looks like. This is my second or third time that I've been here. It's a beautiful day at the end of September, so you'll have an opportunity to see what it looks like as we enter the fall and get to see some of the fall foliage. So come take a look with me. The grounds of the museum where I'll be walking a portion of today are as much a part of the Crystal Bridges experience as the art inside. There are more than 5 miles of trails that wind through the museum's 120-acre site, providing guests with access to the beautiful Ozark landscape. Designed to spark the imagination, the trails help guests form connections to the land and its history, as well as enjoy outdoor artwork. There are 7 trails, and each one offers different plant life, terrain, and ecosystems. This is the first trail I reached just off Museum Way, and it's called Tulip Tree Trail. The length of it is about 3/4 of a mile. As you can see, it's gently sloped, and rather than a hard surface, the surface of this trail is comprised of dirt. This trail features some of the largest trees on the Crystal Bridges ground. I should have researched this trail, or all the trails actually, in advance of my visit, because I ended up turning around only halfway into it because I wanted to get to the art trail, which is the North Forest Trail. Not realizing it's a relatively short trail, I ended up missing the Tulip Tree Shelter, which is a scale mock-up of the museum's roof structure created during the design phase. I also miss the natural spring that flows from the ground at a cool 50 degrees and feeds into the museum ponds. I'll have to come back for that one. The trail itself is sloped with occasional steps, and the hiking level is considered moderate. I also encountered a few runners along the trail, and I just found it to be so beautiful and relaxing, but as mentioned, I wanted to get to the art, and so I turned around. The trails and the grounds of Crystal Bridges are a must-see part of the museum experience. I'm sure you could experience both the museum and explore the trails in one day, but I personally preferred to visit them separately. When I visited the museum, I wore clothing that was more suitable to an indoor tour with my sweater in tow, as it can get a little cool inside. But of course, when I hit the trail outside, I wore my Tevas, my ball cap, and I brought my dog with me. Dogs are allowed inside the museum only if they're service dogs. Moving along from the Tulip Tree Trail, I set out on the North Forest Trail, which is the longest trail on the Crystal Bridges property. It's characterized by a hard surface, suitable for strollers, wheelchairs, and bikes. Bikes are permitted on most of the trails. This trail features the outdoor art I was alluding to earlier, and has hundreds of spring-blooming dogwoods. A word about the outdoor art is the descriptions that you will hear are not my own. They're either featured on the Crystal Bridges website or on the displays. One of the first outdoor exhibits I encountered was Brian Tolley's Tempest. The labyrinth-like sculpture is made of aluminum, fiberglass, and LED lights. A 33-foot wide winding sculpture demonstrates a tempest, which is a violent storm, and this sculpture resembles swirling wind and the waves of a hurricane. The snake-like form of Shikaya's Booker brick houses seems to slither through the forest, suggesting a serpent's natural habitat. In this work, Ms. Booker responds to the texture variances of a tire tread as a painter would to hues in a color palette, carefully considering how light and form intersect to develop a dynamic composition. Up ahead is a 12-foot fiberglass deer by artist Tony Tassett, which reminds me of decoy lawn ornaments that you might see around here to keep away garden pests. I have to underscore the relative ease of getting to Crystal Bridges. Unlike many trails that I used to visit in Washington State, it was a bit of an ordeal. Driving through visitor centers, needing to buy a pass or pay to park was always a deterrent due to the effort.
Here in Bentonville, Crystal Bridges is a mere minutes from downtown. In fact, you can even hop on a trail while downtown and enter the park. Today, I had my German Shepherd with me, and literally entering the park is right off a neighborhood street. Moving along, I thought I observed what appeared to be a grouping of dome-shaped greenhouses, which I found to be so perplexing, especially when I discovered that instead of plants, there's furniture inside. I learned this is actually the North Forest Snow Globe experience. For around $120 a person with a minimum of 4 people, you can reserve one of these snow globes for an evening experience surrounded by light, blankets, specialty food, cocktails, and your own specialty snow globe concierge. This is located adjacent to artist Dale Chihuly's Soleil de Oro sculpture. Soleil de Oro, or Golden Sun, contains more than 1,300 hand-blown pieces of glass and weighs more than 5,000 pounds. It was created for Crystal Bridges, and the artist, Dale Chihuly, chose a brilliant palette of golden and clear glass to form light and capture the reflection in the Ozark forest. Fiore boat is made of blown glass and metal boat finish to appear like wood with various brilliantly colored glass forms, also made by artist Dale Chihuly. Last year, Crystal Bridges acquired a 10-foot piece by Marshall Brown called Ziggurat, which is an architectural structure that was created to model the works of 3 other architects. The resulting piece is considered an architectural hybrid. It was commissioned by the Arts Club of Chicago and is now currently on view in the North Forest. This structure ahead is a custom-built, open-aired living installation. The pyramid structural piece features native plant curated by Rashid Johnson in collaboration with the museum's Trails and Grounds crew. It's an artwork that constantly changes. The plants grow, and various elements of the piece wither or drip in the summer sun, impacting the look. Monochrome 2 is composed of over 60 recycled aluminum canoes and small boats, branching off a central column, creating an illusion that the canoes are frozen in time and space. As I mentioned earlier, one of the best parts about Crystal Bridges is its ease of use. No parking fees, right in the middle of town, and it's a great place to walk your dog. And even on the North Forest Trail, there's an adjacent dirt trail where dogs may even be more comfortable walking versus, the hard surface, particularly on hot days. The only requirement is that they remain on leash and that you clean up after your dog. Dogs are not permitted inside the museum. However, as mentioned, ADA dogs are. So in addition to Tony Tassie's 12-foot deer, there are actual deer roaming around the park as well. Do you see these deer? I can't believe they're just standing here looking at me. Even in my own home, if I come anywhere near them, they're out of here. But because there is presumably very little predation in the park, I imagine these deer aren't afraid of much. Can't believe I have my dog right next to me, and the deer just looking at me, not afraid, just checking it out. This is a perfect place to come on your lunch break to take in some nature or to walk in a beautiful surrounding and feel safe. In fact, I passed at least 2 park volunteers who were there to ensure I was enjoying myself and there to guide me for, direction for restrooms, etc. They even have a little open air trolley to transport visitors around the park if needed. Other relevant information to note is the park is open from sunrise to sunset. Tobacco and firearms are prohibited, and I'm also providing a link to the museum itself where you can print your own map in preparation of your visit. If you'd enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd like it and subscribe, even share a comment if you wish. I'm looking forward to returning here at night to experience some of those very outdoor features lit up. The best part of living in Northwest Arkansas, at least for me, is it doesn't get freezing here, especially at night, like I experienced in Washington State. Temperature is generally pretty mild, so an evening visit is certainly not out of the realm of possibility for me anyway. Thank you for joining me today. This is Jill Varvel with Dixiecast. I hope you'll join me next week for another heaping helping of Southern comfort for your ears.